Hey here. Always trying to adjust it so you can see as little of my bookshelf as possible. Give people a few minutes to get signed on here. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, possibly good evening if you are watching this from another place in the world. I'm wondering if it's on my end, so please bear with me. Again, I always start saying this is live. We can have some technical difficulties. Anybody is there, please go ahead and say hello, where you're joining from or whatnot. All right, I can see the numbers going up now. Maybe it was my connection here. All right, so again, I'm doing this live, so there may or may not be some hiccups along the way. May or may not have some internet connectivity issues here. Or you may hear my husband in the other room on the phone. All right, Casey says, hey. All right, looks like it's working now. So I do apologize if there is some issues on my end. And again, I'll give some people just a few more moments to get signed on or for my computer to catch up with how many people are on. Hello, hello. Probably sounding like I'm repeating myself, but it feels a little weird when I can't see. But welcome. Good. I'm glad you're here. Welcome back and welcome newbies. Like always, doing this live because this is just my way of showing up for you and supporting you during this time. I know some people aren't able to join live, but they end up watching the videos later on, which is great too. I'm happy they do that. Yeah, so yet again, it's another Wednesday. It's actually, weather is cleared up here in Stuttgart. Hope everything's good where you are. I'll be taking you through some meditation, yoga, and also another kind of small meditation towards the end, some Reiki. So we'll go ahead and get started. I have a fun little theme for today. It is, I am safe. It's only change. I cross all bridges with joy and ease. The old unfolds into wonderful new experiences. My life gets better all the time. So as I kind of pulled this card, it's like, I'm safe and it's only change. I feel like if you were to have told me in the new year that this is what would be happening, that the whole world would be quarantined to our homes, I wouldn't believe you. So that's some extreme change that has happened. But I do think it's an interesting card with saying I'm safe and it's only change. And as I was kind of really thinking about this, I kind of remembered a podcast I was listening to with this guy. His name is Jay Shetty. He used to be a monk. He's from England and he used to be a monk. And he was on the podcast with Lewis Howes. Oh gosh, this is gonna be so bad. I can't think of his podcast at this moment. But anyways, it was a really good interview. When I think of it, I will post it. I think it's called School of Greatness. Or that's the school he created. But anyways, going off topic, this particular interview with Jay Shetty I was thinking of was when he was becoming a monk, and the first thing that they learn is how to breathe. It's literally the first thing that they learn is to learn how to properly breathe, because from the moment you're born to when you die, it's the only thing that stays with you. Your breath is the only thing that stays with you from birth till death. And I think that's pretty amazing. And another thing he said, that it is part of every emotion that we feel. So every emotion is experienced through and expressed through our breath, from anger, stress, sadness, even joy is expressed in the way that we breathe. So whether we are holding our breath or we're breathing heavier, or what ends up happening, it is through our breath. So the reason they learn how to breathe as monks is because if you can navigate your emotions, then you can navigate your life. You can change your life just by your breath and being aware of your breath. So I thought with this card of it's safe, I'm safe, it's only change, that if we were to only learn how to breathe properly, it would completely change our lives no matter what situation that we encounter. So for today, I know in the past I have taught several different breathing techniques of alternate nostril breathing and belly breathing and led you through some meditations. But this time I thought we would just focus on the breath. And so when we take a nice inhale, so we'll exhale fully with our mouth open, exhale fully. And then on an inhale, we'll go through our nose and we'll hold at the top for 3 to 5 seconds. And then we will exhale fully through our nose and then hold again for 3 to 5 seconds. And that's just simply it. We're just going to do that for a few rounds. Gloria says, breathe. Welcome. So we will, my dad says, all aboard, ready for breathing in change. All right. All right, really cool. So we will go ahead and begin. Go ahead and get into a nice, comfortable seated position. That's the most important part, to be seated with your spine straight, and then your head nice and supported by your spine. And go ahead and fully exhale through your mouth. And then slowly inhale through your nose. And holding at the top for 3 to 5 seconds. And then exhaling. And then holding for 3 to 5 seconds. And inhaling. So now I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and just begin to do this technique either with me or on your own breath. We have our own lungs and diaphragm, so we have our own different lung capacity. So your breath may or may not be with mine. So it's just as simple as that. And we'll do it just for a full 2 minutes. All right. So go ahead and close your eyes and just breathing nice and gently through your nose. And then just holding at the top, 2 to 3 seconds. And exhaling. And holding for 3 to 5 seconds. Allow your jaw to relax, your forehead to relax. And another inhale. Holding at the top. And exhaling. And holding. And then inhaling. And hold. And exhaling. And just notice if while you're doing the breath, inhaling, holding. And then exhaling. And hold. Inhaling. And hold. And exhaling. So just the key here is just to continue following your breath. Just another moment here. Inhaling and holding at top for 3 to 5 seconds. And then exhaling and holding for 3 to 5 seconds. And just noticing how that is beginning to make your body feel. shouldn't be straining to push the air in and out. It should just be nice and natural. All right, and on a nice deep inhale in through your nose, just begin to bat your eyelashes open, coming back to the room. I hope that felt kind of nice just to begin to relax your body. Casey said, love the shirt. It's Delaware, University of Delaware. My sister's on. Wonderful. Everybody welcome. We'll be taking that breathing technique with us into our practice for today. And for those of you that kind of missed it, our theme for today is I'm safe, it's only change. I cross all bridges with joy and ease. The old unfolds into wonderful new experiences. My life gets better all the time. And I'm just incorporating that with the breath because it's something that that stays with us our entire lives. And when you can control and navigate your breathing, it can change your life. So I thought that was great for this theme, that as we begin to learn to follow our breath and slow our minds, it changes our life. Okay, so I'm going to scoot back onto the mat here. All right, so in a comfortable seated position here, we're going to inhale both arms up, reaching to the sky, interlocking fingers, and pressing palms all the way up. Oh, you can see my arms are nice and double jointed. You don't want that. And making sure your shoulders aren't rising too high, bringing them back and down, feeling a lot of space, a little bit of stretching in the wrists, down your arms. Really good. Really pressing through those fingers. And inhale to release, maybe doing some twirls with the wrists as you exhale down. Inhaling both arms up, exhale to the in front. It's almost like you want to reach really far forward, but then you want to roll your shoulder blades back. We're going to bring left arm under right, crisscrossing at the elbows into our eagle arms. All right, so if this isn't available to you, you can just kind of stay in an X position, that's fine. Or you can continue wrapping your hands in front of your face. And then with an inhale, rising arms up. You can look up at your hands, and on exhale, kind of pulling hands away from your face to really open up those shoulders. Breathing nice and gently, not holding our breath. Really good. Breathing into our shoulders, and on an exhale, bending at the elbows and unwinding here. Open up nice and wide, and exhale, now bringing right under left and crisscrossing at the elbows here. So if you want to keep them at an X, that's fine. Or if it's available to you to continue interlocking them. On an inhale, elbows up. And if it's available to you, go ahead and pull your hands away from your face for a nice deeper stretch in the shoulder blades. Really good. Breathing, relaxing the face. And on an exhale, bending at the elbows and unwrapping, opening up the chest. Let's roll our shoulders there. Okay, so we're going to do a gentle twist here. So inhale, arms up. On an exhale, pivoting from the navel and exhaling, arms down. I apologize. I pivoted to my right side. So left arm is on right knee, and I'm looking over my right shoulder. So I'm not forcing myself. I'm just gently resting my arm, allowing myself to just gently twist and open up to the right side. And on an inhale, bringing arms up, unwinding. And exhale, going to the left side, bringing left arm behind and right arm to knee. Opening up the chest to the left side here and looking over your left shoulder. And just breathing. And on an inhale, inhaling both arms up, unwinding from the navel, and exhale the arms down. You're going to bring the knees up. And we're actually just going to do a little bit of some spinal rolls on the mat here. So if you want, you can kind of grab underneath of your knees here. Call it kind of the armpits of the knees. And what you're going to do is you're just going to gently allow yourself to fall backwards, really gentle here. And we're just going to do a little bit of rolling on the spine. If this isn't available to you or this kind of hurts, then you can opt out. You don't have to do this. We're just going to do it for a few rounds here. Really kind of massaging the spine a little bit. Let's do 2 more, allowing it to kind of come all the way. Just be breathing here. We're going to do 1 more. And exhaling as you come back up. Go ahead and kind of cross the legs if that's available to you. Inhale to kind of lengthen. Exhale, hinging at the hips and bringing hands in front, getting a nice deep stretch here. Really feeling that maybe in your hips, allowing your forehead to come to the mat if that's available. If you're just here or if you're even trying to get into a cross-legged position, just be where you are. That's perfectly fine. Or if you're a little more advanced and have a little more flexibility, bringing forehead to the ground. Breathing into your hips. Really good. And inhaling both arms up. Bringing knees to the center line. And we're just going to make our way into our tabletop. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't seem to think of what I'm saying before I say it. All right, so we're on a tabletop today. And wrists are underneath of shoulders, knees are underneath hips, and we're just going to do a little bit of cat-cows here, really warming up that spine still. So inhaling, tailbone up, dropping the belly, and lifting the head, pushing away from the mat. And on an exhale, tucking the tailbone and moving vertebrae for vertebrae till my head drops. And just do a couple of these on your breath. Just like on our meditation, so lifting tailbone, dropping belly. Just allowing that breath just to flow through. Today's going to be kind of a really nice, gentle practice flowing with the breath. And just 1 more. And then from here, when you're in your angry cat, see if you can kind of look over your right shoulder at your hip. And then to the left, looking at your left hip, and just do a little bit of movement here. Kind of anything goes. Just getting a little bit of movement. And also feel free to do a little bit of movement with your hips. Just really waking up the body, because I know if you're joining in different parts of the world, it's at different times. Okay. So we're going to press into the tops of our hands, pressing into the tops of our feet. Activating our core. We're going to press up off of the mat, hovering our knees. Really activating that core. So if I need, I might actually back my hands up just so they're a little bit more in line. We're just hovering using those lower abdominal muscles that get a little lazy. And exhaling down. Really good. And we're going to exhale or inhale our right leg back. Really kind of press into that, really warming up that calf muscle. So even if you're kind of leaning back into it. So we're going to do a little bit more core here. And coming back over our wrists, inhaling, right leg up. And if you would like, make sure that's nice and activated. Inhale, left arm up. Really feeling that energy from the tips of our toes to the tips of our fingers. The energy throughout our whole body. And breathing. So we're just going to hold this and just breathe, relaxing the face, maybe a little smile. Exhaling, arm down, keeping the leg up. I'm going to pivot on my back knee here. And I always do this because I have this here. I'm pivoting on my back leg, keeping that leg up. We're going to inhale, arm up. Good. And we're just going to breathe here. You feel that maybe a little bit in these hip muscles here. Really good. And pivoting, bringing that arm back to the ground, pivoting on that knee. We're going to drop our left knee here. Inhaling left leg back now. Pressing into that calf. Really warming that up. Inhaling left leg up. Activating that core. And then inhaling right arm up. Just going to hold this for a few breaths. Really feeling the energy from the tips of our toes all the way through our fingertips. Relaxing the face, just breathing. And on an exhale, bringing arm down, keeping the leg up, pivoting on that knee. See, it would be a lot more graceful if I wasn't running into something like it was here. Keeping that leg up. And inhaling arm to the sky. Holding this for just a breath here. Making sure your bellies draw in, tailbones dropping. Really good. Holding that leg up with your leg. And on an exhale, you're going to begin to drop the arm and pivot back on that knee. And then bringing the left knee down. Opening up both knees and pushing back into child's pose. Maybe allowing the hips to relax here. Really breathing into your hips. And again, if it's not available to you to bring your forehead to the ground, you can always have a pillow and bring the earth to you. Child's pose should always be a really comfortable, regenerative pose. And just breathing here. Really good. Inhaling back up to our tabletop position, bringing our knees in, tucking the toes, and lifting the hips up into the sky, pedaling out the feet. So pressing away from the mat with all 10 fingers. Long spine. Do a couple of yeses and nos with your neck. And this time, instead of moving forward, we're actually going to move our hands backwards. We're going to do things slightly different here to do a little bit of mental mind yoga because I'm switching it up on you a little. Staying hinged at the hips, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Staying hinged at the hips. Option to always have a nice generous bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway up. Nice flat back. Exhale down. And inhale, rise. And exhaling, hands to center. Look not so sloppy here. And from here, we're just going to do some hip circles. So bringing hands behind the hips, maybe widening our stance a little. And just pressing the hips out and around. Just doing some gentle circles. I'm moving in the opposite direction. It's kind of like you're doing the hula dance here. Maybe you hear some little cracking in the hips too. It's all right. It's normal. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow here. So just stay with me. Just staying with the breath is what that's the most important. But pretty much anything goes in this next part. You just want to be staying with your breath. So I'm planting my feet nice and strong, pressing through all four sides of my feet. So from my little toe to my big toe to the back of my foot, feeling really strong here. Having a little bit of bend in the knees, a little bit of a bend. As I inhale both arms up, exhale forward fold, hinging at the hips, almost like you're bowing. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. And inhale, rise. We're going to do that 2 more times. So feel free to move on your own breath. Nice strong foundation here. Inhaling. Maybe even holding for that 3 seconds. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to center. And just one more. Inhale. Exhaling, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. And inhale, rise. Exhale, arms to center. Really good. All right. Just checking in with the breath, relaxing the face. All right, really good. Inhaling both arms up. Exhale down. Inhale halfway up. Perhaps you've noticed that you're not as tight. You can bend a little bit further. And this time we're going to walk the hands out into a plank. So you kind of use your core muscles as you do this. Coming into your plank. Option to come to knees. Exhale all the way down. Pressing into the tops of your feet. Shoulders kind of roll back, elbows in. Inhale up. We're going to do exhale down. And again, inhale up. This time, see if you can look over your right shoulder and then your left shoulder. Exhale down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale up. Right. And then left, really gentle here. Exhale down. See if you can relax for just a moment. Bring the arms from underneath. Maybe wiggle out the hips. Really good. And with our arms kind of at our sides, we're going to bring our elbows in line with our shoulders here and go into Sphinx pose. So we're going to pull back the ground, roll back the shoulders, and just lifting the head, just breathing. Really good. And from here, we're going to go into a little bit of a plank. So stay with me here. We're not going to force ourselves into it. It's going to be nice and gentle. So we're going to kind of tuck the toes really gently, activating the core, bringing that up, and lifting the knees. And just stay with me here. Just breathe, keeping that core nice and strong. Maybe rocking on your toes a little bit. Just allow your face to relax. Try not to hold your breath. Breathe. And on an exhale, lowering the knees and lowering the belly. And inhaling up to our Sphinx. Good. Really good. Exhale down, bringing hands underneath of shoulders, bringing elbows behind, rolling the shoulders back, activating the core, pushing up, opening up the knees and pushing back in the child's pose. So allowing your arms to relax if you prefer them in front or behind you, or even in a gentle prayer, whatever feels comfortable. And exhale, arms down. Inhaling, hips up, bringing knees back in a line, tucking the toes and lifting the hips up into the sky, pedaling out the feet, pressing away from the mat, rolling the shoulders. And inhaling, left leg up. Give it a gentle bend in the knee and bring it a little bit over to your right side, just opening up that hip really gently. In our three-legged dog. And then bringing that hip back into a line. And on an exhale, bringing knee to nose and stepping through. Dropping that knee. And on an inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to center. And we're going to straighten that front leg. We push our hips back. And if you need, you can bring hands to the ground. kind of that nice runner's lunge. I don't know, there's some things I always keep in my yoga practices, like cat-cow and this particular stretch. I don't know, I like it, and I think it really helps to warm up the body. All right, exhale, planting the foot, inhaling both arms up. Exhale, both arms down, tucking the toe, lifting the hip, pushing back into down dog. Oh, see, heard my hip crack. We're gonna do the other side now. Inhale, right leg up, bending at the knee, opening up the hip, maybe looking under your right shoulder. Good. Exhale, aligning the hips. Take a nice deep inhale. And on an exhale, bringing knee to nose, bringing in between your hands, dropping that back knee. And inhaling, rise. Exhale, hands to center. Inhale, breathe. And on an exhale, pushing the hips backwards and lifting that foot. Getting a nice stretch here. And just breathing. And on an inhale, bend the knee, plant the foot, bring arms up. And exhale, plant both of the hands, tucking the toe, lifting that knee, coming into plank this time. I tricked you. Make sure you're still with me. If you need to, feel free to go to your knees, and we're gonna lower down. Inhale up into cobra, exhale down. Inhaling, lifting up and tucking the toes, pushing the hips up into downward facing dog. And from here, we're just gonna walk backwards to our feet again. Staying hinged at the hips. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, rise. Hands come to center. Really good. Just checking in with your breath. See how you're feeling compared to how you were feeling in the beginning. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more warmed up. Maybe you're sweating a little. Maybe your core feels really turned on. It's really activated. And just always, yet again, bringing our attention and our focus to our breath and whether or not we are holding our breath. Good. Nice deep inhaling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. And we're going to slowly walk our hands out into our plank. Lowering down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting hips all the way up to the sky to our down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bringing to nose, bringing in between our hands. And this time pivoting or that the right foot. So we're going to go into our warrior one, making sure our foundation is nice and strong before we rise. Pressing into the tops of our feet, using our core and inhaling up. And just hold. Feel like you're kind of holding a beach ball in between your arms. Hips should be facing forward. Arms should be nice and activated. Exhale, both arms down. And this time, we're going to inhale both arms forward, palms down. And we're going to bring our left arm underneath of our right, crossing at the elbows like we did during our warm-up. So if the X is as far as you got, that's good. If you want to go a little bit further into full eagle arms, that's fine. Feeling that really strong foundation here. If you need, you can always adjust your feet, bring them in or further apart, whatever feels comfortable. Making sure hips are forward. Inhaling, arms up. If you want an extra challenge, You can inhale them up and push the arm away or the hands away from the face and look all the way up to the ceiling. And we're really looking up. We're opening up the shoulders, feeling strong in the legs, feeling strong in the core. And on an exhale, bending at the elbows, bringing hands back down, unwinding, opening up the arms. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, arms all the way down to the mat, pivoting on that foot and pushing back into our down dog. Moving to the other side. Inhale, right leg up. And on an exhale, bringing in between the hands. We're going to plant that left foot. So get nice and comfy. So it's kind of slightly pivoted. Getting our nice foundation here, pressing into the top foot, using our core, rising up. Making sure your hips are forward. Feeling that beach ball in between your arms. Breathing. And this time, exhaling, arms down. We're going to do right arm underneath left. So inhaling, arms up. Right underneath of left. Making that X at our elbows, interlocking the arms into our eagle arms. Feeling that really strong base. A little bit of a gentle movement here. Inhaling, arms up, opening up the shoulders. Exhaling, arms away. For a challenge, look all the way up. And just breathe. Core is nice and strong here. Support you. Legs are strong. Arms are strong. Face is relaxed. Breathing. Exhaling, arms down. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. And we're just going to bring our arms and our hands down, pivoting that back foot and coming into our down dog, dropping to the knees, opening that, pushing back into child's pose. And then we're just going to relax our arms here for just a moment because we're going to go into something kind of fun called Wild Thing. And I thought this was kind of interesting with I am safe and it's only change. I just think like a fun pose like Wild Thing is kind of different for what I usually incorporate. So what we'll do is we're going to go back into our downward facing dog. So from our child's pose, planting the hands, bringing our knees back together, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. And this time, when you inhale, left leg up, remember how we kind of opened up the hip? This time, look under your right shoulder, see your foot, wave at yourself. You can see your foot and you can see where it's going to land. So you're going to begin to pivot on the right foot as left foot comes down, left arm comes up, and you push the hips up into the sky, pressing into your right hand, left foot, right foot's bent, really lifting the hips up to the sky. Really good. Just one more breath here. Really lifting the hips, looking up, and on an exhale, if you need, kind of maybe bend a little, pivot on your right foot, bringing right or left arm around, and then your left foot. Really good. We're going to go to the other side. Actually, let's first come to our knees and just check our wrists. So we'll do a counter pose. Just kind of bringing the backs of our hands together and bringing our elbows down. Just checking our wrists because that is a lot on our wrists. Okay, making sure that feels all right. If you need, you can bring them a little bit to the mat. And do some gentle circles. Now we'll go to the other side here. Planting the hands, tucking the toes, bringing up the hips. So this time, I'm going to come this way a little bit more. So inhale, right foot up. Exhale, bend the knee. Begin to be able to see that right foot underneath of your left armpit, pivoting on that left foot, dropping that left foot, and inhaling, pressing the hips all the way up to the sky. Really good. Just breathe. And on an exhale, maybe bending that knee, you can drop your hips, pivoting on your left foot, bringing right foot back around, and pressing back into down dog. Really good. I know that can be kind of challenging, but that can also be kind of fun. And this time, walk your hands all the way back to your feet again. Staying hinged at the hips. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale down. Inhale, rise. And bringing hands to center. So for this last part, just going to come to the center of our mats and bringing our feet a little bit further than hip width apart. And this way you can kind of play with it as we flow, just very gentle flow right here. And you're just going to kind of push your bottom back, pivoting our toes slightly open. So there's our feet are slightly open to the corners of our mats. So this would normally be our goddess pose as we push our hips back. So more of our weight should be on our heels as our bottom sinks back. So we're just going to do a little bit of a flow here as we inhale, straighten and arms up. Exhale, bending at the knees. Seeing what feels good. Perhaps you need to open your feet up a little bit more. Kind of see what feels good, but making sure you're sitting back and core strong. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Really good. Really feeling that in your legs here. Feeling that in our arms. Maybe relaxing the face. And just breathe. Inhale. Straighten, arms up. Exhale. Sinking back. You see if you can even lift up your toes so you know your weight is more in your heels. Relaxing the face, smile. We're just focusing on our breath right now. And just go ahead and flow. We're just going to do this for just 2 more breaths. Really pressing in. Tailbone is tucked. Really good. Inhale, straight. And exhale, arms down. Feet are parallel. And we're just going to gently begin to hinge at the hips. Almost as if there's something balancing on our neck. You bring the arms to the ground, making sure your knees aren't locked. Maybe if you want, you can spiral out your feet a little bit to come a little bit further down to the ground. Relaxing the head, letting it fall, maybe coming even further down. Just breathing. And on an inhale, inhaling straight back, maybe bringing your hands to your hips and hinging all the way up. Really good. And then we're just going to kind of heel toe it all the way to the center. Good. And I'm going to turn to the side. With our feet almost touching, we're going to kind of push our bottom back, bending at the knees, and do chair pose. I know we kind of always save this for the end. And see if you can also lift your toes here too, so your weight is more in your heels. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, pushing back in your bottom, making sure your core is nice and strong here. And just one more. Straighten. Remember, I'm actually sitting down on my inhale, but draw in your belly. And like we normally do, because I think it's actually kind of we'll just begin to sit the bottom down further and further. Kind of hold right here. And then come all the way to the ground. Really good. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of those spinal rolls again, just to kind of end our practice nice and gently. And this time, instead of rolling all the way up, we'll just stay on our backs. Feeling your lower back resting on the ground. Bringing your feet. Maybe you allow your legs just to fall to one side. Inhaling to center, letting them fall to the other side. And let's cross our right foot over our left knee and inhale that leg up. Inhaling our left leg up. And just breathing. And exhale to release, coming out. Crossing left over right. Inhaling right leg up. Breathing into that, kind of that hip where that sciatic nerve could be. And just breathing. Nice and gentle. Exhale to release. Keeping that left knee bent, maybe bring it to your chest and extend your right leg. And perhaps you even bring that into a twist, bringing it over to your right side, looking over your left shoulder. Pretty deep twist here. Relaxing the face. Inhaling back up. Maybe bending the right knee and extending left leg. Exhaling, bringing that over to your left side, looking over your right shoulder. Really deep twist here. Breathing and relaxing. And inhale back to center. Maybe bringing both knees up for a nice little hug. Bringing arms in between, grabbing the outside of the feet for happy baby. And doing any other last little stretches that you may need. And exhaling to release. Last little hug. And allow your legs to just sprawl out. Yeah, to Savasana. Here we go. All right, legs shouldn't be touching, hands shouldn't be touching, arms sprawled to our sides. I invite you to close your eyes. We're going to do a quick relaxation. It's just really quick so we can get to the next part. So just close your eyes. And we're going to start from the top instead of bottom this time. So we're going to relax our forehead. Relax the back of our head. Relax your cheeks. Relax your mouth, your tongue in your mouth. Relax your jaw. Relax your throat and your neck. Just melt into the mat. Relax your shoulders. Relax all the way down each arm. Relax to your elbows and your wrists and your fingers. Just relax your whole body. Just melt into the mat. Relax your chest and your tummy. Relax your upper back, your mid back, and your lower back. Relax your hips and your bottom and just melt into the mat. Relax your thighs and the backs of your legs. Relax your knees and your calves all the way to your ankles. Relax the bottoms of your feet and the tops of your feet and down each toe. Just relax and melt into the mat. And just bring your focus back to your breath. And on each exhale, allowing yourself to just relax further. And we're going to bring that same breath that we did in the beginning. On your inhale, just hold gently at the top for 3 seconds. And then on the exhale, hold for 3 seconds. Exhale fully. hold. And exhale. And hold. And inhale. And just begin to wiggle your toes and your fingertips. Bring some awareness back to your body. And on an inhale, bring your knees up and in. Give them a nice big hug. And on an exhale, just fall to one side, cradling your head. And on an inhale, just gently make it your way up to a nice seated position. So for this last part, if you'd like to move back into Savasana or just a seated position, just for this last part, go ahead and get into a nice, comfortable position for this last meditation. Okay. I invite you to get into your nice, comfortable position. Spine is straight. I invite you to close your eyes. Relax your forehead and relax your jaw. And with your eyes closed, just begin to focus on your breath. And on an inhale, I invite you to imagine as if you are a tiny person standing on the tip of your nose, looking out at the world. And on an inhale, you move up in between your eyebrows. And on another inhale, you move up to the top of your head. And on another deep inhale, you drop inside your mind. On your next inhale, you drop inside your throat. And on your next inhale, you drop inside your heart. And with your awareness on your heart or in the center of your chest, imagine as if you are breathing through your heart center. And just breathing a little bit slower than normal. And now I invite you to activate a loving or a moment of appreciation. So a loving memory or a moment of appreciation. Perhaps it's when you hug your children or your partner or your parents. Or perhaps it's a moment in the sun. And just hug that really special person in your life. And maybe it's been a while since you've been able to hug them during this time of social distancing. And just really hold that person tight. Really hold them tight in your heart. Really activate that feeling of love and appreciation. And let that love and that joy get even bigger and brighter and bolder in your heart. And allow it to begin to spread through your body. Allow that feeling to spread down into your hips and into your legs, to your feet. And it spreads up into your shoulders, down your arms, up your throat, and your neck, and into your mind. And allowing that feeling of love to circulate throughout your whole body. Just that deep love. Allow it to get even stronger. So strong that you begin to push it outside of your body. And perhaps you imagine it as a color gold. So as you push it outside of your body, you're surrounded in this gold kind of snow globe surrounding you. This liquidy, warm, gold blanket of love is surrounding your whole being. And as it gets stronger, continue to push it even further throughout your whole room. And perhaps it's surrounding other people that are in the room with you, surrounding them in your love. And continue to push it even further out till it surrounds your whole house. Every corner of your home is filled with your love. And push it even further out above your home and around your whole neighborhood. Your whole neighborhood is wrapped in this gold liquid blanket, this warm love. And press it even further out until it surrounds your whole town. And press it even further out till it surrounds your whole state. Your state is wrapped in this warm liquidy love. And push it even further out until it surrounds your whole country. And everybody in your country is wrapped in this love, in this compassion, and in this warm gold blanket. And push it even further out to neighboring nations, neighboring countries, and even further out. Just keep pushing it out and out until it covers the whole world. All the land masses, all the water, all of earth is wrapped in your love, in this compassion, in this liquidy gold blanket. And you push yourself out even further, push it out even further, until it's almost like you have a bird's eye view of earth, this gold kind of marble. And perhaps you feel the warmth of the sun on your neck. And you look up and you see the brightest star you've ever seen. Just this beautiful star filled with so much love for you. And you pick that star and you hold it close to your heart. And you hold it tight as you begin to descend back down into this gold earth. You descend back down over your country, over your state, over your town, over your neighborhood, into your home, and then back down into the room that you're in, back down into your body, still holding that star. And on an inhale, press that star into your heart, knowing it holds only love, compassion, peace, and safety. Allowing that to spread through your body. Knowing that you are safe. And then what's going on in the world is only change. You are safe. On an inhale, gently begin to bat your eyelashes and come back to the room. May you always have clarity of thought. May you always speak your truth. And may your heart always be filled with love, compassion, peace, and safety. Namaste. And for the time being, namaste at home. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed that. If there's anybody else you think would enjoy this practice, please feel free to share. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And just thank you so much. I will continue doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the same time and the same place for however long this goes on for, just so you know that you have something that isn't changing during this whole thing. And thank you again for joining, Casey and Uli. I'm sure you're there with Helen. Hi, Helen. And Gloria, thank you. And my sister Lee. And I think my dad was on. So lots of friends and family. I think my husband was also on earlier doing it from the other room. Casey says, thank you, Val. Gloria said, loved it. Wild thing. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And to anybody that's watching this later, I hope you enjoyed it too. And I hope you can join the live class. And thank you so much, everybody that continues to join live. So that we know we have a little bit of a sense of community during this time. And yeah, thank you very, very much. Continue to practice maybe some of the breathing techniques I've taught you, just to bring you a little bit of calmness also. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and namaste, and I will see you on Friday. Have a beautiful day. Bye.